Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children. We welcome to our online learning initiative, KAUTILYA. Children, in this chapter, we are going to discuss about meaning, scope, and importance of statistics in economics. And today is our first class, and I hope you will enjoy it. Economics, it is not a new subject for you. Already you have some knowledge about that. Isn't it? In your ninth and 10th, you would have studied about various aspects of economics. And in this, we are going to discuss about statistics. So, statistics and its importance, how it is useful in other aspects, everything we are going to discuss in this chapter. And first, we take ancient India. So, historically, all countries had a system of collection of data. There are records to show that ancient Egypt governments they collected data on population and wealth, and similarly Rome conducted census in 435 BC. So we have lot of evidences of collection of data in ancient India. For example, Manusmriti and Chanakya's Arthashastra. These are all some examples of this. And such data collection was necessary for the running of the state. Running of a state, it is essential, and to look after various affairs of the state, data collection is very important. And usually, data collection was confined to know about the population, land, and revenue. But in course of time, as there are a lot of changes in administration side and improvisation is needed, so the scope of collecting data also increased. Now, if we take modern governments also collect a large variety of data. They not only collect data, but also they'll publish data for the knowledge of the public and also for the use by researchers. And what is meant by statistics? So, it seems that statistics has originated from the word status in Latin, stato in Italian, and statistic in German. But overall, the meaning of all these words is nothing but political state. So, from the meaning itself, we come to know that data was collected mainly to run the political affairs of the economy. So, for example, during Chandragupta Maurya's period, Kautilya he collected data and published it as a book called Kautilya's Arthashastra. In that, we have lot of information about wealth and population. So, Kautilya can be considered as father of ancient statistics. Now, statistics as a sign. Collection of statistics, it may be very old, but many people they developed the statistics as a science. So, if we take Galileo, Abraham de Moray, Marcus de Laplace, Francis Galton, Carl Pearson, these were the people, those who developed statistics into science. So, among them, Carl Pearson, he is regarded as the father of modern statistics. And in the same way, if we come to India, our Indian scholars who contributed to the development of statistics as a science are P.C. Mahalanobis, V.K.R.V. Rao, and R.C. Desai. Next one, empirical study. So, empirical study means studying through direct observation. So statistics are needed to make an empirical study. Empirical analysis, it means that is knowledge acquired as a result of direct observations. So for example, as you're a student, if you go for admission anywhere, definitely they will be collecting some informations about you, isn't it? For example, your name, father's name or occupation, and what is their previous marks, everything. So from this, directly they will observe all this data, and depending on that, they will decide, isn't it? So empirical analysis means analysis of knowledge acquired as a result of direct observations. One more example, if we go to the market and if we want to make a survey, what we will do, we collect information about the prices and quantity that are traded in the market. So we record all the information collected in a systematic manner, maybe according to the price or according to the quantity purchased, like that. So it is called collection of data. So further, if we work more on this data, then we will classify them into groups, and it will be helpful to calculate averages and trends, whether there is increase in price or decrease in price, like that. And we analyze the results and draw conclusions, say about price and quantity sold, and so on. So with the help of the data we collected, we analyze and we can take some decisions regarding that. And we can put them into groups also. So for example, if you take your marks, so if you take your cycle test, you can group it, isn't it? So in the first cycle test, I have got this much percentage in that particular subject. So next time, if you got less percentage in that subject, next time what you will do, you can decide, okay, I have to work more, or I have to concentrate more in that particular subject. So you can, it is helpful for comparison, and you can conclude that you are in that level. So you can compare for cycle test marks, you can compare and then find out, you can find out the difference, whether you have improved or whether you have to, what are the steps you have to take for your improvisation, everything you can decide. Next one, collection of data. Actually, data are collected by private individuals as well as government institutions. So first, if we take private individual, they may collect data about his businesses. So if a person is running a business, he can collect data about his businesses, whether he is what is the percentage of his profit, whether he wants to increase his production or increase his capital, everything he can decide by collecting the data. So the main aim of the businessman is to know the progress of his business, whether his profit percentage is increasing or whether the quality of the product is good. So like that, it shows the data collected by the businessman. It shows the progress of his business. So in the same way, if we take government institutions, they collect data. For example, if you take income, expenditure, revenue of the government, how much it is spending for the sectors, and progress, what are the activities it is carrying, like this. But through collecting data, it can get. And especially, there are many government agencies, they purely involve themselves in collection of data about the country. And for example, if you take, there are many government agencies about the country, like national income, and how much they are going to spend for the benefit of the people, and how much they are going to invest in creating employment opportunities to the people, and how they are going to implement various plans in industrial sector, agricultural sector. So all these things helps the government to formulate and do it process successfully. Next one, quantitative analysis. So first, economics is divided into micro and macro. So micro, it studies about individual, maybe income, how much they are spending, how much they are investing or saving, like that. So if the study is going to about a single, it is called a micro, and macro means on the whole. So the analysis of these data with the aim of drawing conclusions about the economy is termed as quantitative analysis. Now, statistics as a discipline. So, for an empirical study, we require data method. So, we have to add meaning to the data. So, we should use the data collected in a progressive manner, isn't it? So, both these aspects are studied in statistics as a discipline. Okay, children, now our next subtopic is what is economics? Actually, statistics, it is a part of economics curriculum. We must have some idea of what is economics is. Okay, children, various people think differently. If I ask you also, you may give various definitions for economics, right? So the thoughts about people are thought about us. That is what is economics is about. So some people they will say study of money. Some people they used to say stock market, and some people they used to say a price. But in fact, what is economics means with all these things, with all this money, market, and price, and many other things included, but none of these individually conveys what economics is about. So, the simplest way of describing what is economics is it is a study of behavior of people about earning and spending of income. So, if you take an individual, we can take it as the behavior of the people, how much they are earning and how they are spending their income. Okay, now national income. National income, it is nothing but the value of the goods and services that is produced in a country for a year, for a particular period of time. So that is the definition of national income. So people earn income by participating in production of goods and services. So if you take each and every human being, definitely they have to earn something, isn't it? So they earn income by participating, by involving themselves in production of goods and services. And their some whatever the income that we get from their production, from their involvement, is called national income. Now, consumption expenditure. People spend income mostly on purchasing some goods and services, especially for their family members to satisfy their wants. So this is called consumption expenditure. For example, your father may spend his salary, isn't it? So his main aim is to uh, satisfy your family. So he has to uh, segregate his income according to that. He may buy provisions, he may pay fees, he have to pay electricity bills. So like that, he has to spend his income on various purchasing goods as well as services. So that is called consumption expenditure. And people spend on production units. For example, farms, factories, or they may run businesses, there is offices, but their aim is also to produce either goods or services. So it is called investment expenditure. That is, people spend on production units for producing goods and services. This is called investment expenditure. So production, consumption, and investment, these are the three basic economic activities performed throughout the life. So definitely each and every person we have to involve in production, consumption as well as investment. So keep these three things in your mind, children. These are the basic economic activities of the people. Now, economics not only about how much people earn and spend, but it also about the basis on which people take decisions on how much to work and how much to consume and how much to invest. Already I told you. For example, if you take your parents, so they know this much I have to earn, then only I can satisfy my family members. So I have to work. So I have to consume this to satisfy my family. So the based on this, the economists arrive at conclusion in two stages. So that is in first stage, the economists apply logic. So they try to predict logically as to how people are expected to behave. For example, if you take, they try to predict as to how a consumer is expected to behave when the price of the good increases or decreases when he buys, and how he is going to face the changes in prices. So in the next stage, economists watch the actual behavior. So in this stage, the purpose is to check the conclusions based on the logic. So it is possible that the actual behavior, how the consumer is expected to behave, may not tally with the logical behavior the economists visualize. They would have predicted something, but the result will be opposite to that. So if it tallies, then that logical theory is confirmed, but it does not tally with the behavior, then they have to make some changes. And this calls for reformulation theory until it matches the actual behavior. So continuously they have to do some changes when it comes till when it reaches and tallies with the expected behavior and actual behavior. Now, actual behavior, watching actual behavior amounts to collecting data, summarizing it into tables, and calculating averages, preparing index numbers, and correlating trends. So, representing this data in diagrams makes the understanding of data easy. So, in our further chapters, we are going to discuss all these topics in detail. Okay, children, today I hope so you would have understand something. Tomorrow we will continue. Thank you, children.